Hello and welcome. This journal is called Rebecca, and I've used an image of a little girl on the front holding her doll. Not quite sure where I got this one from. Could be Mrs. Cog, could be Tsunami Rose. It's 5.5 by 8.25. It's a single signature, quite chunky, no dangles. That's how the back looks. So have a look inside. I've got nothing in it, but I've got an upside down pocket here. This pocket has in it a page from a visitor's book, a small invoice from 1908, and a sort of scrappy journal card that I've put together. And I've used some vintage fabric here for a little tab. This is Stamperia paper, tea-dyed paper, some Tim Holtz tissue paper. This is from a leaflet advertising acts on a pier in the 1940s, I think. This pocket, I've got some pretty avocado dyed paper and a flower fairy tag. A little bit more writing space in this one. Ruffle. This is some Stamperia journal cards, I guess, and this is a little bit of vintage cross stitch which I've stitched onto there, or sewn onto there. I didn't do the cross stitch, I was gifted that. This is a pocket, two pockets really. This is a little scrap of vintage ledger paper and a postcard, and then in the envelope there's a little tag, another little scrappy tag in there. This is from an old vintage book. So double pocket again. I've used one of the Stamperia cutouts in the front pocket, and in the back there's a computer card. This is a piece from Piano Roll. And a library card. Little dangle on this one. This lace pocket, and in there I've got some vintage note paper. This is from a French magazine. And another scrappy card that I've put together. Some tea-dyed paper. This pocket has, this is from an 1877 Victorian scrapbook, and somebody has cut this out and put that on. Stuck it in her scrapbook. It was an album that I got that was falling apart, so I've taken the pages out, stuck some vintage paper, and then a little bag and some glassine bags. In this pocket, some handmade paper, sheet of handmade paper, or 3/4 of a sheet. Another of those computer cards. This is from a book that I suppose it's before there were atlases, road atlases. This tells you the sort of way and the lie of the land really between certain places. So this is Southampton to Bournemouth and Poole, and it says things like, as a general rule, this road has splendid surface throughout, but is very liable to be loose and flinty through the New Forest to Christchurch, whence good, but apt to be bumpy. And then there's a postcard here from 1911. So that's all of that. Put that together. In the middle I've got Edith Oldham. Couldn't think who it was then for a second. In this pocket there's a 1932 invoice or receipt. Some notebook paper from an old school book, and one of those computer cards that I've turned into a tag. To ruffle. This envelope I think is from the 1950s. Oh, excuse me, I've just left that open. A couple of little vintage cards here. I'm calling this book Rebecca. And there's some avocado dyed paper, just some different bits of vintage note paper in that pocket. So I really tried to make this journal one with lots of, a bit plainer than a lot of the ones I do, but with lots of writing space. There's a little pocket here with some tickets, a receipt, old vintage receipt, some flashcards, and a little domino. A cardboard domino from a vintage game. And then in this one I've left the poem here. It's a letter from 1902 and a postcard and an old playing card. Here we've got some note paper. That's not particularly vintage. A tag that I put together with my paternal grandmother on there, and some more of those tickets. And then on this side, it's another of those cut aparts from Stamperia. And this is just a rather discoloured but beautifully written old document. I haven't got a date on that, but I would guess from the last century, well, the 1800s I mean. I put that in upside down so that we could see the green there. This has got a bit more of that ledger and a journal card. This is an envelope I've made. And in here there is a cabinet card. This is a chapter 1 digital that's made from. It's a bit more of that advertising. It's Morecambe Pier. Morecambe is a seaside town in the northeast of England. Small ledger. And a postcard. It's from Bournemouth, which is on the south coast of England. And then this is a sort of scrappy card that I've embroidered here for the back page. So that's Rebecca. I hope you like her. She'll be in the Etsy shop when this video is uploaded. Thank you.